All right, so the Yankees have been developing a boatload of offensive talent over the last couple of years in drafting and international signings and so on, right? Um, does that give us any insight into what Hal's thinking? Is Hal's plan? Is he tired of the sideshow that's been going on? I'm asking. I don't know. I'm not saying this, but is he actually tired of the stuff that's been going on? And is he tired of the Yankees getting so much hate that they're getting from fans? And does he want to be part of the resurrection of this? And what do I mean by that? Well, they just called up Everson Pereira and Oswald Pras. Okay, so let's just put together a little bit of a timeline here. Okay, and maybe Austin Wells later this season, right? Maybe, and then maybe Jason Dominguez next spring, maybe Trey Sweeney, maybe Spencer Jones either late next season or early 2025. You could see this the line of offensive prospects that they have, potentially high-end ones, and now which would give them cheap, affordable offensive players to build around Aaron Judge. So you have that affordable, dynamic offensive nucleus. And then does that mean they're going to pivot to spending their money in free agency on pitching, starting pitching and relief? It would be wise to do that, right? Especially if you can get, surround Garrett Cole with a couple more reliable starting pitchers and really, really fortify that bullpen. Because if these offensive players turn out to be another core four or whatever it might be, the Yankees might be onto something here in the next couple of years. We don't know. When I would still look, at some veteran players here and there, affordable player, yeah, that Korean player, yeah, because we want to give Everson Pereira some time, right? And Jason Dominguez some time, and Peraza some time, and everybody else we mentioned some time, just like we gave Volpe time to become a major leaguer, and have his growing pains and develop into the player that we thought that he could be. Who happens to have, Volpe happens to have more home runs than a lot of the big money shortstops that have signed over the last 2 years in free agency too, which is nuts, which is crazy, but it's true. But are they giving us some insight into their plans? I mean, is this what they're going to do? They have a lot of offensive talent, okay, at multiple positions. They've got depth through the kazoo and offensively, and they have the ability to fill multiple positions and replace some of our expensive, underperforming veterans with some of the kids that they've drafted and developed over the last couple of years. And most of our high-end prospects happen to be offensive prospects. So with that said, is that what the Yankees are going to do? It seems to look like that to me. And again, so maybe they'll do that. And you have your cheap offensive players who are tearing the cover off the ball, freaking AA and AAA. And we hopefully, they do the same, at the very least at Volpe's level, when they come up to the major leagues. And now we can get some good veterans starting pitching without health problems. We can really, really fortify the bullpen with some controllable, affordable, maybe even make some trades, right? Like there's a path to doing these things, and it looks to me that's what the Yankees have in mind. And there's still like Will Warren available. There's still Clayton Beeter, and I'm sure they're going to infuse some of their young pitching prospects in the Yankees organization and get them up to the major league level when they can do the same thing. But it looks like the timeline, most recently for the next 2 years at least, is overwhelmingly offensive players. So again, Spencer Jones, highly touted. Jason Dominguez, highly touted, right? Trey Sweeney, versatility, highly touted. He could replace Rizzo at first base. Like, you have Peraza, who could probably replace either Torres at second or Donaldson at third. Like, the versatility is there. Everson Pereira could be, right? Could be our left fielder or our center fielder. We just don't know. But his bat is exciting. Peraza's bat, exciting. Austin Wells could be one of our future catchers as well, from the left-handed side, who's got to seem to be a better bat than all the catchers we have now at the major league level. So is he going to be the catcher of the future, or would he be the first baseman of the future? Spencer Jones, would he be an outfielder? Would he be a first baseman? Profiles, I mean, he's a huge player. So, like, they have a lot of exciting offensive players in that are working their way up quickly through the system. So I would keep an eye out, and I'm wondering if it's the same, if it's going to be that way, if it's just happening to fall into place for the Yankees. It's saying, we got a lot of these kids, because then they can bring them up to the way that the Braves brought up a lot of their young offensive players who have kind of solidified themselves at the major leagues. They've locked up long-term contracts. Could the Yankees do the same thing? We've talked about this too. Could the Yankees lock up a lot of their young offensive talent for the foreseeable future, and then just focus free agency on pitching, 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 right? So food for thought. I want to know what you think, okay? Give me your feedback in the comments, because it looks to me that the Yankees are quietly just revealing their plan here. I want to know if you're seeing any of that on your side as well. So let's talk about it. We'll live stream this. The Yankees play the Nationals tonight. Pereira and Peraza are supposed to be in the lineup tonight. Their two most recent call-ups. So is that what the Yankees are going to do? We're going to see. Are we going to see more of it? Because there's a lot more of it that could happen. So this is an interesting plan. As much as we spend time talking about how frustrated Yankee fans are about how the team's been playing, there is light at the end of the tunnel if you're willing to look for it. So, and this could be it. This could be, and again, they could fortify themselves as, again, a young Atlanta Braves type team with that young, dynamic, versatile offense, productive offense, and then just fortify themselves with good pitching around it. And that could make for a very dangerous team. So let's talk about it, gang. If you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you do that. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. Your help's greatly appreciated. It means the world. But this is the type of stuff I want to have you part of this conversation, because this is a really, 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 really interesting subject to talk about. So let's get into it, gang. Talk to you later.